Hello everyone and welcome to today's coaching review. We are reviewing ReignWolf's Ana play in a scrim between Celestial Absolution and Bionic Bunnies. The map we're reviewing today is Watchpoint Gibraltar.
So they're getting into the position up high ground. I think I don't remember this working out too well for them. So this person's obviously she's playing Ana, and with this composition, her main focus is to keep the tanks alive. Obviously, because they only running triple tank, soldier, and a Lucio. So Lucio is mainly going to be there as a speed aura, and Hog's going to be looking for picks. So I shouldn't really be trying to get some charge here, but it reveals the game plan straight away and gives it away. The other team just, they do the right thing. They just push through the bot still. There's no need for them to go up to the high ground because their Bionic Bunnies have to fall back at some point. So this is good positioning over here. It allows for pretty easy shots for the Ana to land, and as they're not really running anything too ranged, other than the soldier, you can sit there quite nicely and uncontested. But it leaves the Lucio to keep the Reinhardt alive when he's out of line of sight. Sadly, Lucio dies, so you need to do a lot of work healing now and make sure that Rein doesn't die as well, because the spawns, you don't want him to die. So they're running a tracer to dive as well as a soldier, I believe, this bit, or am I? Oh, I can't remember. So their soldier's gone top left, it's all been called out, and your soldier's dead. So here, your soldier's died, and now let's look. We know where the soldier is. He is top left. Right, just gotta get my highlighter pen going. There's the soldier. We know he's there. We've got a low health Rein, and we've got three people out of our sight at the moment. So for us, we are going to want to drop down probably a couple of seconds ago, because our Reinhardt, our soldiers died to theirs, as we know from up here. Glasses has died, so we want to drop down at this point. Instead, you stay up here, you get some nice healing off and you throw your nade, but let's look at your hit points now. Your hit points have just dropped down to 60. That's not good. That's never good. So you die, which causes your team to have no serious healing. All three tanks die. Your only DPS is already dead. Luckily none of you... Oh, it's only the soldier who gets shit spawned, but he's going up top straight away, taking the high ground as he should, because they still only have the soldier to contest that. Oh, he gets a nice pick. Good job. Here... This is good. This is good. They've got no DP. They've not no soldier. So and you've got the high ground advantage. So this is really good sleep. Nade. This is a really good nade. It allows your team to just smash through them nice and easy. Just make sure they stay alive. Luckily, they do. None of them are picked. This allows you to just instantly take the top of the shuttle, and you're then set up pretty well in the high ground. But it's only really the soldier that's taking it. So he's asking for heals, but he has his healing station and he decides to use it. Really, you want to heal him before he needs to use the healing station to save him from having to burn that really important cooldown, because that will allow him to contest up there for a long time against the other soldiers' damage, and it'll take their focus away from the Ana. So I did a count here, and you've got no information at all for the past sort of 6-7 seconds, and you have no idea what's really going on in the fight. And the soldier's got his healing station still. He's just put it down. This means we don't really need to be up here with him. He's supporting himself. we can fall back to the team and assist them because we're the so Lucio's healing with tanks is terrible. He takes forever to heal tanks. Your healing with tanks, magnificent. Ryan's antied, can't do anything with that nade. He decided to drop down. Like, let's just go back just a second. We'll go back just a second. We'll see what happens. Let's look at this. Let's look. We have 1, 2, 3. So that's an Ana, a Lucio, and a soldier. And we're going to drop down into that as an Ana. We drop down and boost the soldier, and luckily your hog drops down and takes out their soldier before you can do any serious damage with his ult. But if your hog hadn't dropped down and hooked their soldier, you would have died. Your soldier most likely would have died because he'd have had 2 healers healing him. No, healing the enemy soldier. So you'd have lost your soldier as well, and you'd have wasted both of your ults. And they would have been ineffective. The only way they can really deal with your setup at the moment is by all coming high ground, which I think they do here, yeah. And still, you're up here with the soldier, you can't see anyone else on your team to heal them. You're pocketing your soldier. They've traded out to a Genji now to help deal with you, but your soldier still has his healing station, so he's fine. But you choose to lose your Lucio and your tank. This is... and... oof. Yeah. And your DPS. So literally just hog and Zaya for you to keep alive now. Nothing to hide behind, no position, that's good. Comments forgot for this bit. Right, so Lucio's going to commit his ult to this fight to keep the guys alive if he needs it. So hit nade before you should, as soon as you see everyone clumped up, just nade straight away. Good nade, really good nade. I don't know if you guys can hear it, so I'll go back just a little bit. I'll go back a minute so you can hear it.
Yeah. They're all anti-heal. Get the Ana, get the Ana.
So here we hear your team shouting to get the Ana, and they're all anti-healed. This screams poor judgment choice to me, as they're all anti-healed. What use does Ana have? She can't heal their front line. Kill their front line. Because once their front line's dead, you can deal with the Ana. That's, what's the length of anti-heal now? Like 5 seconds? Zaya's used both of her bubbles, I think, so she can't cancel any of the anti-heals, and you can just burn through her tanks easy as pie and then deal with the Ana later. Nice shots on the Genji, gets him nice and low. But in this position here, you can't do anything. The position you really want to be in is you want to be over here somewhere. You don't really want to be where you are now. Because where you are, you can only shoot your Lucio. I mean, look, you've just lost 2 people, and if you lose that Rhine as well, it's all on you really, because your positioning was just a little bit too... It's defensive, but you know it's defensive, it's a good position, you've got good visibility, but you don't quite know when you should actually move up, and when you're winning the fight, and when you should engage. Because a lot of defenses are actually quite offensive, so once you win the fight, you need to really win the fight. And up here, they've sent their Reinhardt up to contest. Let's see, what did I have to say about this? So you boost the soldier before he actually starts his ult. You ideally, being nitpicky, you want to boost afterwards. And here, let's go back just a little bit. So what have we got here? What happens here? Let's slow this down a bit. Let's slow this down. We'll play this in half speed. So, you're healing your Rhine. Your Zarya's low. I know she's low. Because I've seen this clip before and I've made this comment before. So, look, you've got your Zarya, she's that's her health bar. So, unfortunately, with Zarya, she's a bit nerfed. Well,
She needs a quality of life update. That her shields don't actually count as health when it comes up with the critical status for healings. So she drops to what any other hero would count as critical health. Like she's less than 50%, and you're healing your Rhine who's got a shield on him, and he's got his shield and Zaya bubble. So luckily your Lucio amps it up and gets her back to full health. You can't do anything about that Zaya at this point, but here you sleep into a bubble. It's quite a common thing that this player does. He sleeps into a bubble, but that Rhine is on about half health. Your Zaya's on full. She's not going to die anytime soon, but you've got a critical here. You should be pumping into your Reinhardt. Your Reinhardt is likely to die. Your Zaya is safe. She's not going to. So you anti him, but you've now got to spam into your Rhine who's being attacked. You could have definitely have used your nade defensively rather than offensively and kept the Rhine alive better. It's good to drop down here. This is good. I really like the way you drop down here. It really stops the soldier from getting that pick. I mean, it's a pretty poor trade even if you had lost. So you were going to win out no matter what, because his team were just not going to be able to support him, whereas you can support them. Whereas you can support your team. I don't like this here. Yeah, you even say it yourself. You know they've all spawned now, and you're walking across open ground. Here I'd have just naded that Genji straight away. I'd have just naded him in the face. Just anti-heal him. As soon as he's antied, he's going to be a little bit more worried. Wasted nade. Would be really useful now. We knew they were going to have their grab up, because we used that last fight, and they hadn't used one at all. Reloading here. The reload times. I think I mentioned something about reload times. So Lucio amp up into Ananade would have definitely saved people's lives enough in that Graviton surge that you could have used the sound barrier to counteract the soldier ult afterwards enough to, well, there would have been enough damage mitigation, because Lucio amp up and Ananade counts as a miniature Zen ult, and Genji can't actually damage through that. So the sound barrier was a bit wasted here in that sense. We'll go back just a little bit more, because I've got another quite advanced tip to go through. So this is it. You use sound barrier here, but they've only the rest of look at the health bars of your team. They're all pretty high. They're not very low. Oh, you didn't have nade. Okay, my bad. I'm wrong. I missed it, didn't I? We'll put it on slow, just so you can see quite what I mean, because I'm not quite quick enough at the moment. So, you start your reload. You cancel your reload to fire a sleep that you miss, and then you have to reload anyway. It works out at about 3 seconds that you're not actually healing at all, and in that time you lose 3 people to soldier ult. So you could have kept those, at least 1, maybe 2 of those 3 people alive if you hadn't gone for the sleep. Now it's a good time to anti-heal. Good. Very nice, good. Your team did a good play there. Right, what other comments did I have at this point? Okay, I didn't have any more. Now we skip through to your attack.
You don't want to try it?
So you're trying out Hanzo.
Glasses, you'd be Genji if you can Genji.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Show up that way we can actually have a McCree. Slow people.
Here we go.
Nope, they're not.
So you've got dive comp, you're running dive, Tracer and Genji are up top, they're not defending up top, they're defending really far back. So ideally here, I'd actually want the Lucio to be going up with the team, because
you can only heal your Xayah at this point. A line of sight, you can't see your Tracer, Genji, or Winston. So I'd want to be taking the high ground. I'd probably want to be sat up on this bit, or even on this little corner just up here. That way I can actually see my teammates, and I can heal this Genji, this Winston, this Tracer, or at least attempt to. Because down here, all I can heal is my full health Xayah. And my Lucio and the cart's own healing on offense will be perfectly fine to deal with this.
I can't jump past them like you guys can.
Something's on high ground. Oh, that's the hogs.
That's Roadhog.
Alright, get the free chart.
So you've lost your Tracer. She's quite a crucial part of your dive. She died to the Hog, which is a bit unfortunate. They've overextended a little bit here. You can punish them. If you'd landed the heal nade, you definitely could. But now you need to, the team needs to fall back. You're a bit split, because I think Genji's up on the left.
Well, I mean, get in position.
Yeah, he's really important to keep him alive here.
Ready? I am ready. Once Dieter call it.
So they come up and contest.
Let's go.
You've got to be really a lot more careful with your sleeps. You throw them out all the time, but never into good things. So let's look at this. What happens in the time that you're up here? What happens in the time that you're up here? Your team push forward. The payload. Well, look what the payload is. The payload is here. The choke, the underground, it drops down and it comes back up. You want to be on this side, sort of over here, where it rises back up, because your Genji, he's full health. He can just dive onto that health pack here. You've got your Winston who's going to jump in. He feels really squishy when you play him because he dies so fast. And your Xayah's full health, your Tracer's full health. If you were down here, you could heal your Winston instead. But really you want to be you almost want to be in the server room over here at this point with your team. You know there's a Reinhardt up here, but you could be putting some damage into him from the back. I think this point you wanted to stay with your team rather than come off for the Genji, because look how low your Winston gets. I think he dies here. If he doesn't, yeah, he dies straight away. There you go. Again, another offensive nade that. What's going to happen? Your Lucio's going to kill him. Oh, sorry, it's a Genji. Your Genji's going to like 1v4. There's not much you can do like that. As the payload, you needed burst heals to keep her alive there. You still had your nade up, you didn't use it. But here, taking the high ground is good because the payload has gone forwards of the dip, as it were. Hogs hooks down, you should be calling that straight away. Boost the Winston. Boosting your Winston allows him to just dive straight onto their supports and take them both out. Nice and quick, and you can keep the others alive. But I know Genji's wants a boost. Another poor sleep. If you hesitated and then slept when it wasn't Xayah barriered, it could have had a much better fight, because you could have slapped that Reinhardt before he actually hammered down. There is timing that allows that, but by boosting the Genji, he doesn't. It wasn't a good time to use it. He didn't really have much of a chance against, because you couldn't see him to heal him, and they still had their Hog and Xayah were turned dealing with him, as well as both their supports were supporting their team with heals. Up here, you kind of on your own. What are you healing? There's nothing you can really heal. You wanted to position and drop down faster. Their Lucio, don't know what he's doing, just comes and dies. But you want to position so you can see your team when they're going to engage. Position kind of like a Widowmaker in a bit of a sense, in the sense that you want the long sight lines. I like this nade on the Winston just to keep him alive, because your team's you're going to win that. Another Dragon Blade, nice. Genji is on point. He's definitely carrying the team at this point, I think. So this team actually reset the game so that they can have a full competitive match, rather than only having to get halfway because the other team only got halfway, for instance. So what happens? You've killed them all right as they spawned. and at their spawn, so you've got a free push at the start. Another wasted sleep into the back of a bubbled Rhine. No, just not much you can do. Your team's going pretty ham. I'd quite like to see a boosted Winston here, because he was shooting at 3 of them, and here definitely, yeah, boost the Winston, because the Winston, you're struggling to heal. So if you'd boosted the Winston, he'd take 50% less damage, he'd stay alive a lot longer, and he'd have been able to actually do some damage into that Graviton Surge. But sadly, instead, yeah, Zai uses it, and it's just you, her, and Lucio to do the follow-up damage, which is not significant enough.
What happened to Pulse Bomb?
You get on with I don't know what I'm doing right now. They have 200 ping still.
We'll try to fix it after this. Alright, watch it.
Alright, high ground.
Ha-
Go. Come on, high ground. There's a loose. There's a.
Okay.
What the hell?
So you're running dive, and with dive you've got so many possibilities to contest high ground, and there's 4 choke points here. There's 4 choke doors, and you've got to take one of them. I think personally you should have Zaya on low ground with you, Lucio on the high ground to give the speed boost to the Winston and Genji and Tracer that are going to dive in on the high ground. So you and Zaya should be low ground, and she should be looking to sort of body block you. And if damage is coming in, she can use self shield, and you can grenade yourself, both of you, to keep you both alive. And that, like, say you came in bottom left, and then everyone else top right. It's a 2-pronged attack. It causes them to have to switch focus, and they're not sure what to do, and making people think. And is when they tend to make mistakes. So you know that the Zaya's bottom left. Go straight in, top right. Go straight in, straight in. As soon as you see that Zaya down bot, just go straight in, because you can force that Reinhardt into a position he's not looking to be in. You've got Grav combo again. Wait,
She's on bridge. I'm on her. She's on bridge.
I can't remember if you... I might be mistaken. Really nice sleep, instant regret, you wake him up. Again, Winston, boost the Winston. He'll do 86... No, more than 86. He'd do 90 damage a second with that. And that's quite a lot of damage. He could have definitely taken those people down. But instead he ults to keep himself alive. Again, I'd still boost the Winston here over the Tracer. Because he's such a big target. He causes so much focus. They have to focus him. And it actually creates a lot of room for your DPS to land their stuff nice and easy. Because they're not worrying so much about losing the tanky Winston that they really need. But unfortunately you do push up too far and contest too far ahead, and you die, you pay the price. If you die, it means that your Lucio can't really keep everyone alive enough. He can't command and control the fight enough. With a Winston Zaya, Lucio takes forever. This is where you want it to be healing from. A little bit, just in the dip, That's ideal. It takes Lucio forever to heal Winston, especially when he's critical.
What do we have? Grab, what's grab at?
You're dashing round by the back of those pallets. Really, you don't want to be doing that. You want to be positioned so you don't have to.
Just get shattered.
And this time you position too far forwards instead of too much with your team. So you got let off a little bit there, but you still die. You burn out quite a lot of their ults, and you've pretty much got 6 ults for this next fight, because you'll build your nano real quick. So this should be a guaranteed win fight. Nano, your Zaya survived as well, so she's got a lot of energy. So I don't know why your Genji's waiting there, but I would definitely grab and then pulse bomb combo. Nearly overtime, but you needed to get that boost off onto someone, and we didn't really get any heals off in that period at all. So we want to definitely want to get better positioning. My main tips here: get better positioning. position so that your sight lines your positioning is really defensive, really defensive when it should be more aggressive, and it's more aggressive when it should be defensive. So it's finding the right balance. You use your nade aggressively almost all the time. It's very rare to see you use it defensively, and I think the defensive power sometimes and quite often outweighs the offensive power. I'd much rather, as a player, your teammates are looking at their health bars like thinking, oh god, I really need that quick burst of healing, and that's happening a lot in this footage, and you're not doing it. You're not bursting them up with their heals. So instead you're antiing the enemy and not quite focusing your team enough on the heals. So if you burst them up, you can actually... Well, let's look at it from this point of view. Say I'm Genji, and I've just got their McCree really low, and I know he hasn't got flashbang down, and I dive into him, but their Ana suddenly nades him and starts pocketing him. I can't actually kill him. His flashbang comes back off cooldown, I'm dead. Because I've used deflect to try and deflect some damage back into him to finish the kill because he's being pocketed. That gives your team the upper hand. When they see that you're low, and then suddenly you burst back up to full health, they have to really reassess the situation, and it really causes people to think and make mistakes, go for bad plays and panic, and it really makes your team feel they have a lot more faith in you when lots of situations like that come up. And I really think that is a focus you need to make. A little bit of patience with your sleep darts would have gone down a long shot as well. You slept into the Zaya bubble countless times, and I know I've sent you a message about this, but if you... What is it that Zenyatta says? A warrior's greatest weapon is patience. If you'd waited just a little bit longer, like another half a second, you could have landed a lot more sleeps there. Just half a second pause, wait. Now it's a good sleep to make, rather than, oh my god, what's happening, I need to sleep this guy. And either missing or shooting it into a bubble. Because we need to slow things down a little bit and calm down. And remember that Reinhardt does 75 damage a hit, right? You can heal 75 damage a hit. You can take 2 hits, then nade, and you're back up to 150. You'll be, say you were at 200, he dropped you down to 50, you then throw a nade on the ground, you're up to 100 again. In the time that it takes for him to swing 3 hits, Zaya's bubble's worn off, he's probably antied because you've thrown a nade at your feet, and you can land the sleep on him nice and easy, because you're not panicked quite so much. You've got more time to do things. Try and make yourself have more time. So this last fight, I want to go over this last fight again. Actually, I got a few little points. So here we'll go through it in slow mo. So I've got quite a bit I want to talk about. Your Genji is sitting so far back. What's his dash distance? Let's look. What happens here? What's going to happen here when he dashes? Let's say he dashes here. This is where he swords. So everyone over here knows he's going to sword. So he dashes here. He then swords here. He then dashes from here to sort of, let's say, it'll be above these steps, won't it? So he's about here, above these steps. And he's not anywhere near their team. And you haven't grab surged yet. You want to be graviton surge and then boost. Here we go. This is where he should already be. But we've got up here, we've got a McCree high nooning. McCree's high nooning. What does this say to me? What does this say to me? This says to me that we need to send Genji up there. We need to, instead of Genji come flying in to get all of these kills, we know we've got Pulse Bomb and we've got Winston. We can deal with their squishies with that, as long as we time it right. But their Lucio times the sound barrier very well, and I don't think the Pulse Bomb actually picks up anything. Yeah, it doesn't. So you Genji wanted to go straight up and contest that McCree. Straight up. And because he doesn't, you see, McCree instantly gets He kills both of these straight away with his high noon. He probably did a lot of damage to your Winston too, in that quick burst.
I was blocked.
And I bet he did some damage to your Zaya. Burnt through.
I was just
That's a good sleep, that's a good sleep. But you've still got your boost. If we boost here, just we've got boost. We didn't use it on anyone. I'd have used it on the Winston rather than the Genji again, because the Winston is taking a lot of damage. He's frontlining all of your damage, and having it makes him a much beefier tank. Keeps him alive longer. Your Genji should have been contesting the McCree to force him to ult quick to just try and get one kill with the Genji, for instance, which would create a lot more time for your DPS and would have kept your Zarya and Lucio alive, because no, it would have kept your Lucio. Yeah, it would have kept your Lucio alive and your Genji if the Genji had gone and contested. So overall, I'd say the use of ultimates here is a bit questionable. There, Lucio did a very good job of sound barriering late to counteract the pulse bomb. But if you're gonna run the nano blade play, you need to actually boost, and there's no point saving it. You've got 10 seconds left. Use it. Use it every time. Probably on the Winston would have been best bet here. It'd easily allow him to kill both the tanks, both the supports, nice and easy. If you can remove the Lucio from the equation and you manage to stay alive, that's obviously a benefit to you. But overall, practice. Learn a little bit more around how comfortable your team feel with your nade uses, and maybe not go for all the aggressive ones, but go for the supportive ones a little bit more to burst your team back up to health. Get your sight lines and work on slowing things down a bit. Calm down, land those important sleeps. And yeah, it was a good game. I think the team's pretty good. Your DPSs at the moment look like they're carrying quite hard, and your Zarya is an absolute beast. I watched some other gameplay. What a beast. The amount of grabs this person gets. Anyway, I hope that's been helpful, and if anyone else would like a coaching commentary done, please look at the description below for more information. Thanks.